Thank you for stopping by Lavender and Lace today. I'm Alicia, and just a heads up, this is not my normal content for this channel. I haven't been able to do any of my normal videos lately. As you probably have seen on the news, Hurricane Helene came through western North Carolina, and we were not able to be home, and our internet is still out. I'm actually sitting at a church that's close to our house that has Starlink Wi-Fi available. So if you hear anything else in the background, I apologize. And I just wanted to take you through just a little bit of the videos that I did when we actually left our house and were able to see some more of the damage. And please continue to pray for our area, and let's get started with this video. I really don't know what to say about this video other than kind of walk you through what our experience was. Our power went out early in the morning on Friday, September the 27th, around 2:30. We woke up to just all this water and wind that was around our house, and we don't have any bodies of water close to our house. That I am extremely thankful for that now. We just had some water pouring off the bank behind our house, and we didn't really have any idea how bad the extent of the damage was from this storm because we had no communication, no power, nothing like that. We had a battery operated radio that we were listening to, and there were several trees down on our road, a couple of mudslides around the road from our house. My husband wasn't able to get to his mom until later that afternoon because there was so much water and debris in the roads, and part of the road had washed off, and it was just a mess. And we were just super thankful that we were okay and our house was okay, and we were able to travel around closer to our house a little bit later on that afternoon and just see a little bit more of the damage. We went about 5 minutes, I guess, away from our house and learned that 2 houses had completely washed away down the river, but those families were able to get out safely and go to a neighbor's house. The worst part of the storm for me at this point was not being able to communicate with any of my family. They all lived on the other side of the county, so I had no idea if they were okay or not. They couldn't get in touch with us, so they had no idea about our safety and well-being. So that was super stressful, and we were just worried sick about everyone. But we were out trying to check our neighbors, and like I said, my husband's mom, she was close by. We were able to get to her a little bit later on. Her road had washed out, so we had to do a lot of work there because our well overflow is on her road. So to be able to get water, we had to be able to get to her house. And this damage here, you can see the trees there in the distance. There is a bridge behind that. That is where those 2 houses had washed away that I mentioned just a minute ago. There was just so much damage. It was just completely unbelievable that we had had that amount of water come through our area. Later on, I did learn that we had over 30 inches of rain in 24 hours in some areas. And if you see off to the right there in that video, that used to be a bridge that went across the river. It was completely washed out, nothing left of that. And we actually have 4 ways in and out to the community where we live, and all 4 of those were either blocked by mudslides, the bridges washed out, or completely covered with trees. So we were extremely worried about how we were going to be able to get out and get supplies and things. So the first few days of this storm, I guess the first 3 or 4 days, we were just completely in survival mode. We were trying to get water to our house because we didn't have any water. We were trying to find gas for our small generator that we had running our refrigerator and one of our freezers, trying not to lose any of our food, trying to find propane for our grills and things so that we could be able to cook. And it was pretty much like camping out but sleeping in the house with no electricity. Thankfully, one of the smaller little general stores that we have in our area was able to get a generator going, and we were able to get up there, I think it was on the second day, and get some supplies and things that we needed, and gas for our vehicle as well as the generator. And that right there is one of the buildings that just completely washed off the foundation and was just washed a couple of miles away from where it was originally sitting. And there's another one of the bridges that was completely covered. And this was our drive out on Monday. I don't remember the date of that. This was one of the big slides that completely just took out all of the road. So we actually had to go up through the woods for just a little bit and do some four-wheeling through the mud to try to get out. It was just complete devastation right there, completely destroyed. And I hadn't seen any of the rest of the damage at this point, so we were just completely in shock as we were driving out trying to get to town and get to my mom's house, because they had gotten power back and water. And that's another slide that we had to drive by that amazingly didn't destroy the road. It did take down a lot of telephone, cable lines, trees were down, and destroyed some of the houses there. But we were just driving through our local communities, and we're seeing a lot of the damage for the first time, and I still have no words for what we were seeing. There used to be a house here, and there was a post office that was completely washed away, and we were just in shock and awe, really. There have been so many buildings that have been either completely destroyed or are beyond repair. My brother actually works for the electric company, and he has been working 7 days a week, 14, 16 hours trying to get things back. And they have told us that there are, so far this point, and it's October the 10th, there are 25 to 30 no reconnects. So that means either the house is gone or it's not able to be repaired. So that's just heartbreaking and devastating. I still cannot believe that something like this happened in our community in the mountains. It was literally a Category 3 hurricane that came through here. There was a flood in 1977 that did a lot of damage, but in that flood there were only 13 inches of rain, and this one, like I had mentioned earlier in the video, some places got over 30 inches of rain. So it's just absolutely mind-boggling what happened here. But we have had a lot of help that has been able to get in. The first 5 days, really, we weren't able to get any help in here because the main bridges into our town, which is a very small town, they couldn't get here because the bridges were not safe. So, but we have military in here. We have had a couple of other churches bring supplies and much needed things to our church, and our church has actually become a distribution center. So we are giving out supplies, water, toilet paper, paper towels, non-perishable foods, things like that to the community, and we're able to do hot meals to those that are in need. And we have just been so blessed with the support and the outpouring that we have got recently. And I would just like to say thank you to any of you that may be watching this video that have come to help. Just continue to send help and prayers to our area. It's going to be getting cold in the next few weeks, and people have lost everything. So please continue to send that support in the months to come. Improvements are being made every day. They are continuing to work on the roads and doing cleanup and things like that. Power is being restored to a lot of communities every day. They're working nonstop to try to get that back. Internet and phone lines are still a mess. We were able to get back to our house the middle of this week. I think it was Wednesday on October the 9th that we were finally able to get back to our house. and power was back and water and things like that. And I'm just so thankful that God provided everything that we needed throughout this. He has sustained us and just kept us safe and protected, and I can't thank Him enough for that. And I know that He will continue to be with us as we continue this cleanup and recovery. Please pray for those families that have lost loved ones. It is just heartbreaking to hear about another loss in our community. And we are working tirelessly to help provide meals and supplies to those in need. And I hope to be back to doing my regular videos very soon. And I thank you all so much for supporting me and watching the video today.